Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
We were just
How are
laughing
we
at
all
bad
doing
game
tonight?
balance.
Yeah.
For those that care, I was making fun of Pokemon Empyrean again.
Yes, the stats in the game are, well, they make some of the changes in some other games look very fair.
Fucking, level 110 Absol with 1300 attack.
Or that Latios with, 1200 special attack?
And don't forget that it also has over 1000 speed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, this is like, you're done.
Yeah.
It hits you, you're dead.
Yep.
So how is everybody today?
Fine.
Doing all right.
Yeah, same.
Good. That's good to hear. Any interesting subjects to talk about today?
It looks like it's gonna be a low energy week.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes that just happens.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You sound like you're eating.
I put some gum in my mouth,
Close enough.
and I just happen to want to talk at the exact wrong time.
So there was a Nintendo Direct this week that
Yes.
Which
came
I
out of
paid
nowhere.
no attention to.
Same.
I actually very much enjoyed it.
So what's the good coming from that one?
Pikmin 4 got announced.
Oh, did finally?
Yeah.
I saw that they're making a remake of Harvest Moon under Story of Seasons title.
Which Harvest Moon is it?
Oh shit!
Because I know they already did Mineral Town.
I forget which one it is off the top of my head.
Yeah, and also, the difference between Harvest Moon and Story of Seasons is very weird and difficult to explain if you don't already know the context.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All I know, it's being called Story of Seasons with the Harvest Moon title as its secondary title.
No. Harvest Moon was the original... I need to stop drawing for this. Was the original title of the series back when it was on GBA and stuff. And that was because the people who developed the games were not the people who localized and published them. The people who localized and published them eventually decided that they had claim on the IP of Harvest Moon, so the actual developers just changed the name of the series. Modern Harvest Moon games are not Harvest Moon.
Nope. And this new one is a Story of Seasons game.
Yeah. Story of Seasons is the new Harvest Moon. It is the same series, it's just under a different name.
Yeah, and that's what this remake is. It's Story of Seasons, the one that's one of the remakes of Harvest Moon.
Yeah.
It's the original creators making it.
Yeah.
The way they did that most recent Story of Seasons, which I have, and played through quite a bit, but I don't know if I made any progress in it, because that game honestly confused me going from Stardew Valley to that.
Okay, so with Stardew Valley, it takes more from Mineral Town, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't play Harvest Moon, so I don't know the specifics, but I do know that Stardew Valley was kind of a love letter to that style of Harvest Moon game.
Stardew Valley is great.
Yep. We should do a co-op series of that sometime.
We do have to do that. Concerned Ape is making another... I don't want to call it an expansion, but another update to it. When this last one was supposed to be the final one.
I don't think that he ever said it was supposed to be the final one, just that he was shifting focus to Haunted Chocolatier.
Which also looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm not terribly interested in it, but it looks cool.
I just want to see more of it.
It takes
before I pass judgment.
it takes a lot for me to get interested in a new game, honestly.
Mm-hmm. That's understandable. Like, I'm going off of it based on, this is Concerned Ape. He created Stardew Valley. Let's see what this is.
Yeah, but like, it's one thing to have like that sort of brand loyalty, if that's what you want to call it. But like, just because someone makes one good game doesn't mean that all other games are going to be good.
That's why I'm giving it a little faith.
Yeah.
Or I wouldn't say faith. I would say a little hope.
Yeah, that's understandable. I'm just not terribly interested in it. It doesn't really look like it would appeal to me too much.
Honestly, all I know is it takes place in the world of Stardew Valley.
Mm.
And that's all I know about it. And that's what makes me excited for it, because I would love to know more about Pelican Town and Zuzu City.
Okay, I really doubt that it's going to involve Pelican Town.
Oh, I know. It's nowhere near there. I'm just. He said there might be some characters crossing over to it, but they won't be a major focus.
Yeah, it's at most it's like for the lore buffs.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot about the world of Stardew Valley that we just don't really know any of the context for, like what that weird Yoba religion is, and what the hell this fucking war that Kent came back from was.
Right. There is so much mystery to a cute little farming game.
Yeah.
Also, I actually hadn't heard of Haunted Chocolatier before, and I'm watching the early gameplay trailer now.
Wim's been like nerding out about it in DM with me.
It genuinely looks like something I would enjoy. Yeah, I would probably enjoy this.
I wonder if it's going to have multiplayer.
Probably not at first, like what Stardew Valley was, and then there might be some later, but who knows?
It's definitely a game on my radar.
Yeah. It's more on my radar than Stardew Valley was, anyway.
Have you played Stardew Valley?
A little bit.
Or nah?
I have issues with it, just dealing with, like, I think it's trying to do too many things at the same time.
That's fair.
That is fair, because it's overwhelming.
It's this weird, like, it's trying to be a farming sim, but it's having a little bit of an identity crisis.
Yeah.
But that doesn't.
It's a dungeon crawler.
But that doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad. It's just like, what are you trying to be here?
Yeah.
Honestly, Nate, I think that describes my issue with it and why I stopped after a couple of days.
I
was just saying, I'm just someone who kind of prefers, games and other things too, movies, TV shows, whatever, to do one thing well rather than try to do a whole bunch of things. I prefer
very
that.
fair point. I fell in love with it really quick, but I was overwhelmed with it until I got into the groove of it.
Then there's me wanting to make a creature collection farming sim that's taking notes from Stardew.
And that would be an awesome crossover style game, to be fair.
Why would it be a crossover?
Yeah.
Crossover genres.
Oh, okay. See, my original idea was just PMD with Stardew, but we should maybe not make too many things that are just Pokemon.
Yeah, you gotta capitalize on some of these awesome ideas.
Yeah, I want to monetize at some point, and we can't do that with Pokemon.
No. Pokemon like, however.
Yeah.
That's fair game.
Yeah, it's not like Pokemon invented the genre, so like, why not?
Oh, not at all.
Creature collection games
Yeah.
have been Pokemon popularized them, but then a lot of developers really tried to copy Pokemon.
Yeah.
There's Telefang, there's Robopon, there's what were some other kind of I can't remember offhand.
And like even then, it's not like Telefang was bad. It just like got
it
a really
isn't.
bad rap in the West because of the bootleg.
Yeah. Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know, back in the GBC era, there were these creature collecting games called Keitai Denju Telefang. And some Chinese pirates decided to bootleg the game into the US as Pokemon Diamond and Jade.
Yep.
Oh.
And then they broke the game, translated it really badly, and yeah.
And Nate's username comes from Telefang.
Yes, it does. Because, the evil team, the counterpart to Team Rocket, they're the Kakuza party, or Gakuzato. And it's a pun on both the Yakuza as well as the word for sugar cube.
Okay, I dig it.
Yeah. But they're really weird games because there's actually a 2 sequel. There's Telefang 2 as well for the GBA. But the main gimmick of the Telefang games is that the monsters all have cell phones.
Yep.
And you recruit them by registering their cell phone number into your cell phone.
That's a little weird.
And in battle, you get to call up to 3 Denju into battle. And depending on how far away their home area is, it takes a different amount of turns for them to arrive into battle.
I don't remember that part.
Yeah.
That's really, really strange.
Yes.
That's Telefang in a nutshell, honestly.
And it's also it has a very Japanese sense of humor,
Mm.
in a way that I like. Yeah.
Why was it a Chinese company brought it to America as Pokemon games?
Yeah, because it was the time when when Pokemon was the popular thing in the world,
Yeah.
And they just wanted money, so they're like, Pokemon.
I'm sure that lasted long.
Yeah.
Again, though, like Telefang gets a bad rap because of that, but it is genuinely a pretty decent game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like sick to just steal someone else's entire game and try to pass it off.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever seen those like bootleg merch photos?
Oh yeah, I've seen Wish. I've seen a lot of things that come out of China.
Someone in Caspri's server posted like what's supposed to be Teddy Ursa merch, but it's like they just took a generic bear mold and desperately tried to make it look like a Teddy Ursa. Let me see if I can find it.
There's a lot of knockoff Pokemon merch on Amazon as it is.
Yeah. I also have a weird fascination with bootlegs in general. Like, I'm someone who, if I walked into a GameStop and saw a bootleg game in their case, I'd be like, I want that.
See, like I'll buy bootleg plushies if they're like ultra high quality.
There it is.
Because oh my god. It's Chonker Ursa. Teddy Chonkers. There we go. That's better.
I need to not look at that so I don't keep laughing.
That's both cursed. That's a blurred image. Like, holy shit, that's a blurred image.
It's one
Are
of the
you showing
funniest
this on
things
your
I've
side,
seen.
Kalian?
What?
Are you showing this on your side?
No, hang on.
And the viewers get to lose out because that's a
No, because
winner.
like the way that I do my setup, I can't unless I copy image and Control B.
Yay!
Enjoy
They
the
get to see
blursh.
it now.
I just love the last commenter is like Teddy Ursa at home.
That's good.
Yeah, that's a barrel, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah. But can you imagine if Pokemon were that hyper realistic?
I
Well, I
don't.
say hyper real.
I don't call that hyper realism.
I didn't mean hyper realistic. I meant like body shape proportion to the real life thing. Like that would be so off putting in some cases.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Other interesting things from the Nintendo Direct. We got a subtitle for Breath of the Wild 2.
Really? What is it?
Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, that actually sounds.
Yeah.
That's an anime show right there.
Yeah,
I like
so
that.
it's not Breath of the Wild 2, it's The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom.
Why do I have a feeling they're going to go super dark with the storyline?
I mean, that's not entirely strange for
No,
Legend of Zelda, you know?
not one bit.
Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, even Breath of the Wild was pretty dark.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you start your game, but everyone's dead, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. New Fire Emblem game announced. Fire Emblem Engage.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. I have a hard time getting into Fire Emblem.
I never once played one.
It's okay.
I don't like turn-based tactical games. I tried to play them. They're not my thing.
I want to like TRPGs so bad.
Maybe we can make one.
Maybe. But like I can't even, get into the ones that are like, hey, this is, a really good game. I'm just like, why can't I get into this? I should like this.
Like 4X is as far as they'll go for turn-based stuff.
I mean, I wouldn't consider that to be the same genre as
No, that's
Fire
very
Emblem at all.
different.
Yeah.
That's very different.
Let's see here. I think the funniest thing in the Nintendo Direct. Actually, no, it wasn't part of the Nintendo Direct. Looks like it was just another. Oh, it was an announcement of like a week ago. Never mind.
I'll say it anyway.
So they're making a DLC for Mario and Rabbids that includes Rayman as a playable character.
Alright.
That's cool. Crossover unexpected.
The thing is, it's entirely expected.
Oh yeah,
But like,
there has
I
been
wonder
more than
how many people who like the Rabbids games are like, "Who the hell is Rayman?" Not
Exactly,
knowing that Rabbids is a spin-off of Rayman.
Yeah, there hasn't been a Rayman game in oh god, how many years?
Let's see here. What was the last one? Origins or Legends? I always forget which one of those was first.
I think it'd be the last one be Legends.
Okay.
I
Did they make a
feel
remake of it too? Of the original 3?
No.
I don't know why I have a remake in mind now.
I feel like this is on the level of Etrian Odyssey and Persona fans going, "What the fuck is Shin Megami Tensei?"
Yes, that is
True.
exactly it.
A lot of people forget that Persona's a spinoff.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Etrian Odyssey is so removed from the thing that it's supposedly a spin-off from that, like,
Yeah.
I don't blame people for not knowing.
Mhm.
And what makes it funnier is that technically Shin Megami Tensei is a spin-off of Megami Tensei.
Yeah.
So Persona is a spin-off of a spin-off.
Okay, but that at that point that's just Legacies. Because
Yeah.
Legacies is a Netflix, or not, I don't think it's Netflix necessarily. It's just like on Netflix shortly after it actually airs. But it's a series about like vampires and werewolves and witches, basically in private high school. But it's a spin-off of the originals, which is about a family of Norse vampires, and that itself is a spin-off of the Vampire Diaries.
Mhm.
And like honestly, if you can sit through Vampire Diaries, the originals is worth watching. But also every witch that is not related to the Norse vampires, I really hate.
That is a very
I
fair point.
spend the entire show wanting Bonnie to fucking die. And then I spend the entire show with originals wanting Davina to die.
There's always had to have a good character you want to just have gone out of the show.
Yeah. It's a shame because death is basically never permanent in that series.
Any show on the CW, death is never permanent.
Yeah.
But like
That's just a
it's
suggestion.
yeah. So yeah, that's that.
Hmm.
Uh,
Trying to
oh,
think
but
of other things.
the actual funniest part of the direct itself was the very first thing they showed. A Fist of the North Star fitness boxing game.
What the fuck?
Oh my god! That's a deep cut reference to a random ass anime.
Right? I mean, Fist of the North Star is not just some random anime.
It's a classic. Everybody
It is,
knows at least
yeah.
one meme from it.
And not just that, it's easily one of the most influential animes
Mm-hmm.
ever made.
Oh yeah, it definitely is.
You know, regardless of whether you've, read the manga or seen the anime, if you've watched another anime or read another manga, the mangaka in charge of that was probably inspired by Fist of the North Star to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they were inspired by something that was inspired by it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a granddaddy of a lot of anime.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds me. So like I was having a discussion with a streamer like last week, and we were talking about how uh like modern American standards of beauty change from being portly to being way too thin because of tuberculosis and all the culture that was like surrounding that. And it was fascinating stuff, but it also made me wonder, when the fuck did we move from vampires are terrifying and horrible monsters to vampires are sexy?
Dracula 2000.
No, because it happened before Twilight, but before Twilight was Anita Blake. Before Anita Blake was Anne Rice.
Interview with the Vampire. I completely forgot about that.
But
Classic Dracula too. I mean,
Oh
let's
yeah,
face
I thought classic
that's sex
Dracula
symbol
was
regardless.
more like horrifying monster.
The movie.
that's what movie? Like,
Bela
what's the
Lugosi.
actor's name?
Because
Yeah,
I think it
yeah.
had to have come before Anne Rice.
So we can point the finger at Bram Stoker for it then. Well, not Bram Stoker.
Yeah,
The book was
yeah.
horrifying. You can point the
I
finger
think it
at
was Carl Lamy's Dracula starring Bela Lugosi.
Mhm.
I think that's where it started.
Is it because
But
they
it wasn't.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Was it because they got a particularly good-looking actor, or was it because they were actively trying to make the vampire look sexy?
Column A,
Well,
column B. I mean,
go on, Nate.
no, that's all I had to say.
I didn't actually hear what you said.
Oh, column A, column B.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's
So basically, just yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say Bela Lugosi was the sexiest man alive. I'm sure there were some people who found him attractive, but he was suave. He was charismatic, charming, charming as hell. And he was a seductor. He was a seducer. Like that was the biggest thing. Dracula seduces you with his hypnotic powers and all that shit.
I mean, the same streamer was also of the opinion that vampires are an allegory for basically xenophobia, and I'm like, I don't see that being as true as you're claiming it to be, but okay.
Nah, not
because
that
like
one.
this whole like
I'm sure
blood
some
and
vampire
stories, blah
stories.
blah blah.
Yeah. I'm sure some vampire stories have used that. It's just
it's like sometimes people are just afraid of rotting corpses.
Yeah. I mean, that really is it.
Yeah, and it's like
basically sometimes people would dig up a body because it has to be moved or whatever, and they would find the body bloated. They would find that their fingernails and hair seem to have grown when it's more that the skin receded, but and they go, oh my God, this person, must still be alive and coming out of the grave,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the origin of vampires.
Yeah,
basically.
This person was like claiming that it's foreign blood and it spreads by being infected, and
I think they need to do some stretching for that mental gymnastics.
This person is teetering on the edge of woke without actually being woke, so it's kind of just to be expected from her.
Like that one, like I would love to actually have a debate about that one, because if anything, vampires are the ones in power. They're the ones who have power over every mortal with their magic.
In classical lore,
I think. Oh, are we like referring back to Bram Stoker?
We're referring back to
before that.
Yeah, back to the origin of vampire stories. That they were created as an allegory for foreign invaders and stuff.
Psychic powers.
I don't know if they had psychic powers in the OG mythology. And I feel like there's a lot of things that we don't really, a lot of like mythological things that we don't really have any sort of like exact origin point for, because like you can make the argument that werewolves, rabid wolves, but also like there's a lot more to werewolf lore than just it bites you and you turn into a werewolf and go crazy. Because there's like, I think the silver thing is actually fairly modern, but like there's the old myth of cutting off a part of the werewolf will turn it back into or will turn that part back into human shape, and then you can tell who the werewolf is by who's missing that body part or whatever.
Right. I've heard of that one.
Also, it might also come from the fact that for some reason, medieval Europeans thought that wolves were basically spawn of Satan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think just about everything in the world has had a turn at being the spawn of Satan.
Fair enough.
Gonna be honest here.
Mhm.
It's true. But
Like at some points, Christians have said, Satan made this.
I'm just still like confused at the mental gymnastics someone has to go through to make, say, vampires are a symbol of prejudice and racism back in ye olde times. Like, you can go with a lot of different mythical monsters for that.
And this was
But
immediately
vampires?
chasing the tales of how, like, apparently zombies are also an allegory for racism, but also, like, one, who cares, and two,
Shall we point out the actual origins of zombies first? As
go ahead.
voodoo? And Haiti voodoo?
Yeah.
Haitian voodoo, excuse me.
Well, this person was talking more about, like, Walking Dead zombie lore. But, like, popularization of zombies in modern media.
Okay, so not the OG. All right. This discussion is reminding me that I had a kind of funny realization today.
Oh?
There is a really specific genre of fiction that is surprisingly robust despite how specific it is. And that is the Deep South dark fantasy.
Oh boy, am I still connected? I don't think I am. Yay. Oh.
But I haven't looked any further with it other than just like thinking, of things off the top of my head, but I can think of 2 TV shows, a movie, and a comedy song that all fall into that genre. And that's without even thinking about it,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how is that such an established genre?
I don't know.
Would Devil Went Down to Georgia fit in that?
Probably.
I mean, I wouldn't call that horror. I mean, that's a damn good.
I don't know if Devil Went Down to Georgia would count, but I think another song by Charlie Daniels would, and I'm trying to remember the name of it.
Did he cover Marie Laveau? Because that might
No,
be the one you're
I'm
thinking. Okay.
Legend of Woolly Swamp.
I barely remember that one, but
It's about a guy who he was a miser and he like buried mason jars full of his money so that other people couldn't steal it. And then like these 3 brothers ambushed him when he was doing that and beat him up, basically beat him to death and took all the money, but they started sinking into the swamp and you can still hear their ghosts screaming and you can still hear the old man laughing.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
But another comedy country song this time, that is technically Deep South dark fantasy, is the song Marie Laveau, which is about the voodoo queen who really lived,
Yeah.
And it's just a funny song, about mostly about a rich, or not even a rich guy, a guy that goes into the swamp to try to get her to do some magic that'll make him rich, and she decides to actually, he promises to marry her but then tries to run away, and so she curses him, kills him basically.
Remind me after we're done with the podcast to link you Legend of Woolly Swamp because it's actually a really good song.
I mean, I have heard it before.
Well,
I'm
also like talking to Phoenix because it sounded like you had.
I would actually like to listen to that.
It's a really good song.
But TV series, you have True Blood, you have Cloak and Dagger from Marvel.
I'm pretty sure the American Horror Story Coven took place in the South.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they decided to delve into the Deep South. But
I know, I'm not 100% sure because I've been a while since I saw Coven. But I think Marie Laveau was a character in that one. I know they did a story with I forget her name. She was the slave owner who chained up her slaves and like sacrificed them in the attic.
Yeah,
She was a character in it.
But yeah, and
of course,
the
all these
movie
people are witches now.
Yeah, and the movie that came to my mind when I was thinking about it was the Skeleton Key.
Right.
Lady decides to get a job as a caretaker for this really old couple. Turns out that they're stealing people's bodies to live forever, and they go back to like the 1800s.
Mm-hmm. A decent movie.
Interesting.
Yeah. But the reason I thought about it is because I was talking with someone and about Marvel. And I was like, because in the most recent episode of She-Hulk, in the final thing, they had concept art of a shoe store with a bunch of sneakers representing different Marvel characters, even ones that haven't showed up in the MCU yet, including things like the X-Men.
Deadpool, I think, right?
Deadpool too, yeah. But one of them was probably referencing Gambit, and I was like, I would love a solo movie for Gambit in the MCU. And I was like, they could do a Deep South dark fantasy Gambit movie, and it would be really cool, I think.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%. Like we were supposed to get a standalone Gambit movie, and that was like I think Channing Tatum was supposed to play him.
I think I remember that, yeah.
And it got canceled. It got like shelved and put in development hell for the longest time, and it finally got completely scrapped when Disney bought Fox.
Does Missouri count as the South? I don't remember where it is.
Sort of.
Because
I thought that was Colorado.
Because like I read a dark fantasy series that takes place mostly in Missouri, so I was just kind of wondering where that fell.
Yeah,
Missouri. I thought you said misery. What the fuck?
What?
Then
what were you?
I swear to God, I thought you said misery.
Then why'd you bring up Colorado?
That's where I thought the book Misery takes place.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with my ears today.
See, like what I thought you
now
were doing.
I see how that connects to
what I thought
Colorado.
What I thought you were doing is that you're saying that Missouri is like about as far south as Colorado.
Oh no, I would call Missouri the South.
Okay.
Yeah.
Communication,
Sorry.
everyone. Okay, so Anita Blake series is another probably southern dark fantasy thing.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, it's just so weird that is such a specific genre that is just, that has that kind of zeitgeist,
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool because the South is a lot of mystery. The South.
Yeah.
All the bayous, the things lost in the bayou.
Yeah.
Like I could think of 1,000 different storylines to write for the South. Ghosts, like so many ghost stories. Then not only ghost stories, but cryptids. Yeah, a shit ton of cryptids from the South. I'm getting a lot of visual glitches today. Oh, yep, I gotta reconnect my Xbox to my computer. Oh, yeah, I can do this while recording.
I feel like there's cryptids all over the U.S.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And then you have the lumberjack cryptids, which are like a completely different category of cryptids.
And then you have the Native American mythology cryptids, which are not cryptids.
Yeah.
Then you have the Mexican cryptids.
That's a whole
Those
different can
are-
of worms.
Yeah. But lumberjack cryptids just usually make you go, "What the fuck?"
Fucking
Yeah,
Splinter
isn't there
Cat.
like a giant flying animal that's not supposed to fly?
The
Probably.
one that I usually think of, isn't there a wheel snake?
Yes, the hoop
Mhm.
snake.
Yeah. Yeah, the hoop snake.
There's-
I bet that was just some lumberjack was drunk one day. Probably saw a tumbleweed and was like, "That's a snake."
there's there's the hoop snake. There's the Splinter Cat. There's some
The hide behind.
the hide behind. There's some monkey thing. I don't know if the jackalope counts because that was more of a souvenir tourist trap hoax thing. I don't know if the furred
Wasn't there
trout.
also?
I don't know if the furred trout counts. I don't know if Bigfoot counts.
Wasn't there also like a blood red camel?
I don't know. But
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting pseudo myths.
okay, let's be real. If we didn't know what a platypus was, we would think it's a cryptid.
Oh yeah,
So
the platypus alone sounds like it shouldn't be real.
So honestly, who's to say what of these are and are not real?
Exactly.
Now I'm just on the Wikipedia page for fearsome critters.
Yep, that's what they're called.
There's the axe handle hound,
I knew that there was a dog. I just didn't remember
Yeah.
what it was.
a beast that reputedly subsists on axe handles left unattended.
I like that.
And it
It's
looks
just-
like a dachshund with the head of an axe.
Oh, that's that would make a cool Pokemon.
It's like
It would.
it's like half
Steel
of them.
normal type.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it's like
Route 1, maybe.
no. It's like one of those. Okay, so like half of fearsome critters are probably made by lumberjacks who just got drunk, and the other half are ones bragging to their friends.
Yeah, that's exactly what it sounds like.
Actually, I think most of the fearsome critters are already Pokemon. Like,
Basically.
This is why I know America has gotten 2 regions so far, but I'm still saying an out west or a Midwest.
It's actually gotten 3.
Oh, right, or region.
Yeah.
To be fair, a lot of people forget that one.
Also, to be fair, like I think Alola is more.
Polynesian.
No, it is definitely Hawaii, but I'm thinking like I feel like it's a Hawaii that never got like taken over by the US.
Colonized. Yeah, definitely. It does feel that way. It's like a Hawaii that was never brought into the fold.
It modernized, but never got Americanized.
Right. What are you giggling at?
Oh, that thing.
Oh, I'm not looking at the Discord. Let me look at my. Oh my god. Oh, hold on. These things do look like Pokemon.
so I just posted in our Discord the Cactus Cat, and I don't even know where to begin with it.
I haven't done any digital art in a month because I've been preparing for the craft fair. I want to make this into a Pokemon so bad.
It looks less like a cat and more like a short, fuzzy dude, chubby,
Yeah.
fuzzy dude.
Are we going to ignore the one in the background hugging the cactus?
Oh my god.
I didn't even see that.
Good eye.
It didn't look the correct shape, so I investigated.
Oh, I'm loving these weird animals. Keep on posting them. I can see it. Let's make dedicate a podcast to this shit. I can't. This axe dog is. It's both ridiculous, cute, and if it was real, horrifying.
Absolutely, especially the fact that it just eats wood, axe handles.
Yeah.
Uh huh. I really love the Cactus Cat. It's just ridiculous. I can if I was to do a actual draw, I wouldn't use those kind of cactus for its ears. I would give it the flat cactus for the ears.
Mm-hmm. Like a prickly
I
pear
would have
type cactus, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd have to make it bipedal though, and have that chubbiness to it though. I just love it. Like you can tell that thing looks sassy.
Looks like Garfield.
It does. It doesn't. It does have a Garfield vibe.
To me, it has more of a what's Danny DeVito's character's name in It's Always Sunny?
I never watched that, so I don't know.
Neither have I.
But it has that vibe to it, to me.
Are you sure that that it's Always Sunny and not just like George from Seinfeld?
That's not Danny DeVito.
I know,
I'm talking
but it's like kind of the same energy.
Yeah, I'm talking about the guy that spawned the meme. So anyway, I started blasting.
Okay.
There you go. I know. I don't remember his name. I know he has a superhero alter ego called the Trash Man.
Interesting.
That's all I know from that show. But yeah, I can see it does have Danny DeVito vibes, especially with that pose.
Yeah.
Oh god, I just can't imagine what the hell how did they come up with these crazy ass ideas?
Again, they're probably either drunk or bragging to their friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a little more than drunk. That's a little high. That's a little drug fuel right there.
I'm gonna need a different source than Wikipedia because this type of stuff does not go well with the way Wikipedia describes things.
Okay, but do you want to read the Wikipedia article on the Badgers animation?
You see, that one is just funny because of the way Wikipedia writes.
I know, that's the point.
Fearsome Critters, it's just almost nonsensical because of how... not even nonsensical in a funny way, just what the fuck are you talking about? The Dungavenhooter is a crocodile creature with no mouth and huge nostrils. The creature uses its tail to pound loggers into a gaseous vapor, which it then inhales for sustenance. What the fuck are you talking about?
Wow. That's a weird one.
I mean, to be fair,
and it's just I want a different source that isn't so dry in describing things because I just
that isn't so academic about these fantastic creatures.
These are things that need drawings.
It does have a drawing, but know what? The drawing actually explains a lot.
Yeah.
The drawing certainly explains a lot, but it doesn't. It doesn't explain what a Dungavenhooter is.
What the fuck?
But it does explain why it is.
Which, I don't know if I'm looking at the mouth or the tail.
Yes.
I think... Well, I mean, apparently according to this thing, it doesn't have a mouth.
Oh, right, because it inhales the vapors. Oh, wow, that's, okay,
FearsomeCritters.org. I bet that's actually a pretty good source.
Probably.
Considered.
It's probably the same energy as yokai.com or whatever.
Yeah, let's... Oh, it's a terrible website, though.
2009 energy.
Everything is a complete redirect.
Ah,
Oh, old websites.
Oh, actually, there isn't too much actual info.
Nate, have you read on the podcast? Have you read the Badgers animation page? Because I think the world deserves to know about that one.
Probably not, but I will. Let me just.
Okay.
So it is my favorite Wikipedia page. Badgers, also known informally as Badger 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 or the Badger Song, is a flash animated meme by British animator Picking. It consists of 12 animated cartoon badgers doing calisthenics, a mushroom in front of a tree, and a snake in the desert. The flash cartoon is accompanied by a bass line, above which a voiceover sings the names of what's shown on screen. The flash cartoon was published on the 1st of September 2003. The cartoon loops indefinitely. It's so beautifully funny.
It sounds so surreal. It's like, what makes people do these fever dream kind of shit?
I mean, Badgers is a classic, right?
Is it bad? This is the first time I'm hearing of it.
No,
You
I-
need to watch it. Oh my god.
I didn't hear about it until Nate told me about the Wikipedia page.
Are we about to have a live reaction from Phoenix on here?
Sure.
So here's the original.
Okay.
Newgrounds, by the way.
Oh, that's loud.
Yeah. Classic video, classic animation, all the rage in, pre-2010s internet.
I kind of wonder why the Badger hasn't appeared in Friday Night Funkin'.
Good question.
30 million views.
Yep.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure that some of the top comments are something along the lines of, let's be real, you didn't get suggested this, you searched it up.
Like, this is...
I mean, it's just classic internet stuff,
Yeah, this is a shitpost. This is YouTube poops.
No, not even a shit post.
Wait a minute.
It's just somebody making an animation because they can.
I think I've actually watched this before.
Probably.
Okay, that's enough.
But anyway, in 2013, it needs to be mentioned that the United Kingdom started to do a badger culling program, and it's something that a lot of the farmers were for, and not realizing that no, the badgers aren't what's killing your animals. They're not that dangerous to your animals. Blah blah blah. But anyway, there was a Save the Badgers campaign, and the managers from it asked the guy that made this animation, "Hey, do you want to make an updated version of this for our organization?" And they're like, "By the way, we also have Brian May and Brian Blessed to help you."
I posted another classic. This one has 60 million views.
Yep. Brian May being the guitarist for Queen. And Brian Blessed is a British presenter, actor, and very much a big ham personality.
Mhm.
Basically two mega celebrities for British people that got into this new animation made by the same guy. And it's amazing.
Yeah, I posted another classic. I don't know the origin story of this, but I remember being showed by my cousin and thinking it was fucking hilarious.
Man, I miss old internet.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say to this shit. I miss the old internet. Back before everything was offensive.
Yeah.
Back before you could get your life destroyed by posting the wrong thing.
Yeah, because like I would love to say what the classic that I posted is, but it's considered a slur nowadays.
I would say that the biggest problem isn't even like woke culture or anything like that. It is consumerist culture.
Yeah.
That's the big problem.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know, this idea of, mass market appeal for everything. It's just,
Yeah, you have to make everybody happy.
yeah.
Screw that. Make
Except
yourself
certain
happy.
demographics, apparently.
Yeah, screw that. Make yourself happy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I think this is why I click with the Cyberpunk game so much, because it's always just a big theme of it is fuck the corporation. And it's like a motto I would love to live by.
Yeah.
And guys, remember, it doesn't matter how many rainbow flags they have in their profile pictures come June. No matter what they say, large companies are not your friend.
If they truly did mean that message, if they were truly supporting of the LGBT community, they would change all of their accounts to it, including the Muslim and Arab country ones.
Yeah.
And also, they
Chinese.
would not be using the current progressive pride flag.
Yeah, that's
Because-
offensive to some people.
Because that's not only very offensive to actual, like, trans people and it's also just like, why are black people on the pride flag? When did black become a sexuality?
Yeah.
Who fucking knows? And I wish it would stop.
It's a category on PornHub, so can I say that? I probably should have.
Yeah,
done
when
that.
I don't.
I mean, at that point,
we're an hour in. The bot stopped listening a long
at
time
that
ago.
point, you could say that mothers deserve to be on the pride flag.
Well,
Stepmothers and stepsisters too, and stepsisters.
I was referring more to MILFs, but okay.
Oh, that MILFs have to be on the next pride flag.
Yeah.
God, if anybody watches this one, we're fucked.
I don't care. Susan Wojak has already made her opinions on me clear.
Mm-hmm. Now, is it bad? I'm just trying to think of more Pornhub categories to go off of to add to the flags.
No. I mean, we might as well go all the way with the joke.
Phoenix, you almost said something naughty.
Should we have another After Dark episode?
creating the
we
PornHub version.
No, listen, we still haven't done the BDSM test.
Oh god.
Oh, that's true.
Oh no. Oh no. I'm afraid of what mine's going to say.
I mean, it's probably not going to be anything too bad.
Oh god.
Imagine a test like that about, fucked up fetishes. Being like, dude,
so
what the fuck?
It's like, so you're into dwarf pegging. Congratulations.
Fuck?
No, I mean, like, you get the result from the test back, and the result is just, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean,
we got to start a rumble.
I mean, hey,
There's no way we'd be able
I'm
to
up
do
for
that.
doing that episode if anyone else is. So, like,
Oh yeah, definitely 100%.
it's
Yeah,
funny,
Hmm.
and I feel like we would have to have the episode start with us actually doing the test, and then
Yeah.
we share our results after.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not going to be like a very long episode.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And then going into excruciating detail as in why. I mean, that's going to be a fun episode one of these days.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I blew my stealth.
Uh,
I'm playing Cyberpunk for the background stuff.
Isn't the point of starting a series that you play it on video and not?
There's
stream-
a
and not
side content that I can just do off camera.
Okay.
There's they're basically you team up with you help do police work, and it's just a way to grind. Fuck. Wow, that was embarrassing.
Oh.
Or clever. I threw a grenade and the guy closed the door so the grenade bounced back at me.
I feel like that might have just been like weird AI and not an intentional choice.
No, definitely not intentional. Not with this game. Like, the AI is good, but not that good.
Yeah. It's just like one of those weird things that happen as a result of just whatever AI. Like when I shot some NPC in Skyrim, and she stayed sitting in her chair with the arrow sticking through her skull, like she had a terrible headache.
Oh, it was just a wimp.
No, she was dead, but also like, let me find the screenshot
okay.
because it's fucking hilarious. Actually, no, it's one of my Skyrim thumbnails, so I should still have the image. Where's the image? Aha. Okay, this wasn't the... I don't think that this was the actual... Yeah, this wasn't the actual one.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Where did I put that?
A brutal shot.
Yeah, but where did I put... Hang on, I'm looking for something. I had a different one. That is not the right folder. Keep the conversation going while I look.
I was still saying that was a brutal shot.
Yeah.
It surprises me how brutal Skyrim could be.
Yeah.
Being an older game.
This isn't what I was looking for, but it's also funny. Okay, what file name is this? 728. Yeah, this wasn't the shot that I'm talking about, but it's also funny.
Oh, the poor Draugr. Did it go through his hand
what
and
a
into his
beautiful...
chest,
I don't know.
No, I think that's just a ragdoll.
Yeah.
I think his hand just ragdolled onto the arrow.
That's good. That's a really good one. It's just trying to pull the arrow out.
That's... I got distracted by something else. I should probably keep just stop distracting myself.
I found it.
Ooh.
She has like the most annoyed expression on her face.
Oh, and she's dead. Oh
Yeah.
God, how? How?
I don't know.
It's like, did they forget to add the ragdoll physics to her?
No, I think that it was because she was like already sitting down, and I had such a perfect angle that she barely moved.
That's fucking brutal. I mean, you back of the head through the eye. Good lord.
Yeah, this is still me playing She-Ra, and if our discussion about Ela Slay last session is anything to go by, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fucking hell.
I would imagine that this is not so much brutal, but that is a fucking good shot in universe.
That
Yeah.
is. And it's just that going from the back through the eye, that's a fucking hell.
Yeah.
Oh, and to cover our asses with YouTube. I have been told by friends of the LGBTQ community
Don't say
that
the
they
Q.
don't like the pride flag. I know. But they don't like the flag.
Yeah, so have we.
Yeah. I mean, it's... And the fact that it's also looks like the... what flag was it? What's the Middle Eastern country Israel's always attacking?
Palestine?
Yeah, it looks like the Palestinian flag a little bit.
But yeah, like...
That pissed off people too.
Pretty much every actual trans person that I know, at the very least, hates the flag. And in fact, I kind of generally just hate most pride flags to begin with because they're unnecessary, because they're supposed to be covered under the LGBT pride flag, and also some of the things don't exist, but that's neither here nor there.
I mean, the original one was just so perfect and iconic.
Well, yeah, and it's like some of the ones that they complain about are things like, oh, the gay man flag, but that's just covered on the original pride flag. The trans flag, that's just covered on the original pride flag. The certain things that I'm not going to say, that doesn't exist. Polyamory is not a sexuality.
That's a lifestyle.
Yeah. Intersex is not a sexuality.
What's intersex? I think I've asked this before and I always keep forgetting.
Basically, it's someone who has both parts, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And there are multiple genetic defects that can lead to that.
Yeah.
And there's a medical term for that.
There's also, like, you could say hermaphrodite, which isn't quite accurate with humans.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
no,
especially because not all forms of intersex are hermaphroditism.
Yeah.
Ah, gotcha. Who didn't say this podcast isn't educational?
And we talk at length about some interesting things every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's like most of these things don't need flags because they're either covered under the LGBT pride flag, they don't exist, or they're not sexualities.
Like black people.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like that's when I kind of tuned out with this new flag update, is when they included that. And didn't they also put like a symbol for the indigenous people over it now too?
Yes. They're trying to incorporate the intersex flag and like
Okay. And who's coming up with all this again? Who's the mastermind behind this?
Tumblr.
Ew. You know, I've heard this said before, but they should have never took the porn off Tumblr because they let those people out into the wild.
Oh no, they were already bad before the porn ban happened.
Yeah, but it was kept in Tumblr at least.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, really?
Really?
I said no. I'm asking.
Yeah, I said really.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. It's always been bad.
I always saw Tumblr as the same thing as 4chan, just opposite spectrum-wise.
No.
No, I'm saying if 4chan's extreme right, I saw Tumblr as extreme left.
Okay, well, 4chan has more moderation on it, and by that I mean like moderate ideals rather than actual mods. But I think that's more a byproduct of if someone on the left doesn't like what's being said, they either throw a fit to have it deleted or they leave.
Mm-hmm.
It should really say something that with most communities that I've seen / been part of, if there's a notable like left-wing bias, right-wing people tend to be banned. If there's a notable right-wing bias, left-wing people tend to throw a fit and then rage quit. This has been the case in every single community that I've been in that had a clear political bias.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's like I don't actively search out these things, so I don't see them usually. Like, I know of some of the madness out there, but I don't actively seek it out because why would anyone seek out madness?
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, except to maybe study it, but like,
No, I don't want to study this.
Yeah.
That's you look into the abyss and the abyss looks back, kind of thing.
That's too cool of a phrase for them.
Yeah.
True. But like I've said it. It's a known thing. I still frequent 4chan because of the Pokemon board.
Yeah.
But I grew up like my high school days. It's like we all huddled around the computer in the computer lab and went on 4chan. Like that was a thing we did.
Yeah.
And it was like we saw the shit being posted there, and it was like, this is the internet. This is the Wild West. And like when I saw people going to Tumblr, it was always, for me, it was like the extreme left, extreme right, and it's like both are. This is why I don't like either side. These people are crazy.
Yeah.
One wants to kill you, the other wants to kill you and take away your voice.
Yeah. And this is why centrism is king.
Mm-hmm. And we're a dying breed, unfortunately.
Yeah, because we keep getting pushed further and further right.
Yeah, it's because it's the left keeps on moving the goalposts further and further left.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like we're still centrist. It's just they've gone so far left, they make us look right.
They're way back in, like, I think it was 2016, 2017, maybe as early as 2015. There was a mass purge of right-wing leaning people from Fur Affinity, of all places. And I remember around that time, I started being friendly with some of the alt-furry people, which are described by other parts of the internet as basically Nazi furries or alt-right furries or whatever. And one of the first things that I saw upon like joining a Discord of them was someone saying, most of us are just displaced centrists.
Mm-hmm.
And I have never agreed so strongly with someone that I've just met. So yeah, I'm going to come right and say it. People call me an alt-fur on Twitter and stuff. I don't care. I own the label. I'm not saying that I am one, but I own the label.
It's like I've become such a political chameleon. People don't know, like we all know where I lean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like my friends, my family, my family does know in my family, obviously.
Yeah.
But like if you talk to me, my answers I give are so apolitical. People can't read me.
No,
and
it's
like,
not.
I think that's like the safest thing.
No, it's not that you're apolitical. It's that your answers fall on both sides of the spectrum, and people don't understand that.
Mm-hmm. No, and it breaks their mind. It's like, oh my god, you're for gun rights, but you love green energy? What?
Same.
Yeah, it's crazy. But then you say, what kind of green energy? Oh, I love nuclear. And it just breaks their
And
mind.
then they
even
get on
further.
you for pronouncing it incorrectly.
I could pronounce it worse.
Yeah. It's
Um,
like, that's a good analogy. It's like I'm okay. I was about to give an example, but then I realized it's not quite accurate because I keep saying I'm not pro-life, I'm pro-responsibility, and that tends to lean towards pro-life.
mhm.
Because, oh my god, the amount of people acting like abortions are suddenly illegal, or that because of the Roe versus Wade being overturned thing, that means that they're forced to be pregnant. It's like, dude, just have someone wear a condom.
Yeah, it's not that hard. It's like we have become, and I apologize for the vulgarity of my next sentence.
Mm.
We have become strange people where people enjoy cream pies. And girls request it. That's weird. That's a PornHub category. That should not be a thing in normal sex.
I mean, your normal is not necessarily everyone's normal.
True. Lord knows that's the truth. Because my normal's weird for some people. Oh god.
I've seen people be like, "My body, my choice," and I'm like, "Tell that to the men who were circumcised against their will."
My body, my choice, but force the vaccine on everybody.
That too, but like, I'm talking more about the
And
whole.
there goes our videos getting taken down again.
Oh no, we didn't say anything untrue. Not even as a joke.
That's not true. No.
But I'm talking more about like the forced involuntary mutilation of someone's genitalia because some parent thinks it looks better.
I have
Part
no
of it too.
comment on this.
In the early 1900s, there was a big movement that was basically saying that it's healthier to, for someone to be circumcised than uncircumcised, and that just weaved its way into American culture. So now a lot of American parents just assume that it is healthier because of that.
And like, is there any evidence that it is?
You don't
No.
get dick cheese, so.
Well, then just clean yourself like a person.
True.
I mean, it has been proven wrong, but like now there's the thing of now you have to undo generations worth of
Yeah.
common wisdom.
Yeah.
Blame John
Like,
Kellogg.
I've said I have no opinion on this one.
Like,
Because
my opinion is that like you're doing that shit to a baby that can't consent.
Right.
And if you're worried about hygiene, then teach your kid how to wash down there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It
In
wasn't
general,
just
wash
about
your dick, guys.
hygiene. There was a lot of other things with it that
I know, but like the main point that people cite nowadays is the hygiene.
Yeah. But yeah, just blame John Harvey Kellogg for that.
I don't know who that is, but okay, I will.
Literally the guy that started Kellogg's, the cereal company.
Okay.
Dude was a weirdo.
Yeah, like back to the weird political spectrum stuff. Like for example, I am very pro separation of church and state, but also I am as close to pro life as like I think I can be and still keep both sides of my ideals. And it's like I know that it seems hypocritical to some of these people to be pro separation of church and state and also pro life, but it just makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Like, I will say it and say it again. Beliefs of the church have no place in politics.
Yeah. And like I don't I'm not pro responsibility because of religious values. I am pro responsibility because you shouldn't punish a doctor and potentially your unborn child and potentially your partner just because you made a bad decision.
Right. And and what's his face? Oh, what's that terrible Republican? I can't remember his name. He's a jackass.
There's a few of
Lindsey
them.
Graham, I think it is.
Who?
Lindsey Graham.
I don't know who that is.
He's trying to pass he's a major Republican. He's trying to pass a abortion ban nationwide.
Now, see, I don't agree with that.
Stupid? No. It's like, are you stupid? Do you really want to get the Republicans to lose? You're a Republican. This will make people go against you.
Yeah.
And the whole point of it being taken out of Roe v. Wade is to make it go back to the state's decision, not a federal decision.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If people are acting like abortion is being banned, and it's not. It's just that
some states.
Well, it's just that it's more that you can't force a doctor to do it for you. And
one here. Go ahead.
Like, I'm just going on a rant. Go ahead.
Want to hear something even scarier about Roe v. Wade?
Sure.
Okay, Roe v. Wade actually has nothing to do with abortion. It was the right for the doctor to keep things private.
Oh.
Now, with that being removed, the government can go to a doctor and ask for medical records.
Ah.
That's why I didn't like it being revoked. Because it's nothing to do with abortion. Sure, abortion's a major thing. With Roe v. Wade. That's why Roe v. Wade became a thing. Also what?
Also, like, I don't know how much weight this holds because I heard it from, like, one person who admittedly I trust, but also I haven't done my own research on it, so take it with a grain of salt. I have heard that person say that Roe v. Wade was built on a lie.
I've heard that too.
Like whoever it was that was involved admitted to lying about it.
Yeah, I don't know the details, but it is, like, that much is true.
Okay.
Even Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the queen of Roe v. Wade, said this will get overturned someday in the future because it's paper thin what it stands on.
Mm.
So this was Roe v. Wade being overturned was an eventuality, not a thing. Sure, it could have been codified into law, which with Democrats being in power as they are, they were really sitting on their...
Yeah, like, why didn't they do that if it was such an important thing to them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like, they're currently trying to codify marriage between black and white and gay marriage.
Yeah, see, that I agree with.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I would never try to take away that.
Of course I agree with that. I'm dating a black guy. But, and it's like, I'm pro-gay marriage, but I have very, very right-leaning opinions sometimes, and people don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, it's like you and me. We break people's minds with our political stances.
Yeah. Like, I am pro-cop. I am pro-gun rights. I am pro, quote-unquote, life. I am pro-green energy. I am pro-gay marriage. I am pro-interracial marriage. It's like, people don't know what to make of me.
I'm pro-human. I am not pro-politics.
Yeah, that's a fair way to look at it.
It's like, I'm all for human rights.
Yeah.
Not this bullshit.
I consider myself a right-leaning centrist, but realistically, I just agree with what makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One thing I will say with me, and I'm sure Kuda has noticed this a few times, I'm really good at playing devil's advocate.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So am I, honestly.
In the podcast.
Like, I enjoy playing devil's advocate. We had, like, this game in one of my social studies classes in high school where we would actively, like, come up with something that we had a particular opinion on and then write an argument for the other opinion. And it was a way to sharpen our debate skills, and I loved that.
Absolutely. But Kuda's probably seen me playing Devil's Advocate a lot in the Sardonic server.
There's nothing wrong with Devil's Advocate.
Yeah.
Like when I was in religion class back when I was in high school, I was always the devil's advocate for other religions. Mostly because I was the only one who knew about other religions and how they work.
That's gonna happen.
But like, I'm not going to sit by and let someone attack some other religion just because you don't know about it.
Yeah.
Right?
How'd that go over with your teachers?
Oh, she loved it. She loved that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially like, was this when you were going to Catholic school?
Yes.
So, weirdly enough, in Catholic schools, religion teachers are usually really cool, from what I've heard.
Mm.
Like, it's just a thing.
Yeah, she was pretty cool. She was a former nun. She left the nunhood. And she was a blast. We didn't do anything in class. We watched the Beverly Hillbillies more than anything. Every time it came to discussion about other religions, and she wasn't the one attacking the religions. It was the kids in the class attacking the religions.
Mhm.
Like Islam, Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism. It's like I was the only one able to defend these religions because I was the only one able to know shit about them. And that's what I did. Except the one time it came to Baptists, I did not defend them. And we had a Baptist kid in the class too, so it's like, hey, I'm going to let him take this one because I don't know anything about this religion, and I have nothing good to say about it.
Okay,
either.
you were leaving it to the expert rather than coming in yourself.
Well, the thing is, this kid thought his version of Christianity was the proper religion, and if you said otherwise, you were his enemy. That's how Baptists are usually.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
So from my experience with Baptists, they're very zealous.
No, I was gonna say that's like half of the Christianity denominations, though.
Yeah,
yes, that is true. Except there's two of them that don't give a shit. Episcopalian, they don't give a shit. Catholicism, half of us don't give a shit. And
Mormons don't give a shit.
Yep.
Because
but specifically, it was the evangelical movement that kind of did weird things to Christianity.
Because Zio let me in on something kind of interesting information-wise, and that's that like what's seen as a sin by a Mormon is only a sin if you are Mormon.
Right.
Yeah.
Because as a Mormon, you have agreed to these rules. You have agreed to abide by them. Other people haven't agreed to them, so why would they be punished for not abiding by them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, Mormons are usually chill people.
Yeah. Usually.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some crackpots amongst them, but there's crackpots in every single religion.
Yep.
I mean, I can point out generations of shit the Catholics did.
So can most of the world.
Yeah. And there's other religions I can point out who've done extremely terrible things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Except the Buddhists. I don't think they've done anything crazy. I can think of. Besides lighting themselves on fire.
What the fuck?
I mean...
Yeah, that's a thing Buddhists like to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually it's a form of protest. Self-immolation.
That dude who recently lit himself on fire to protest climate change, was he a Buddhist?
I don't know.
Was that in DC?
I don't know, probably.
No, he was probably just a DC crackpot.
Okay.
But I mean, in history, there's been all the Buddhist kingdoms in Asia that have been just as warfaring as the other religious kingdoms. So,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I just had a stupid thought.
Go on.
No.
Something Gandhi's aggression underflowing.
Gandhi is the one to build the nuclear devices.
But fun fact about that whole thing about the aggression score underflowing, that's just not how it worked.
I know, but like, it's still funny to think about it like that.
Yeah, but like, basically, that's not even how it was programmed in the game. So like, it's really confusing on how that actually became the, you know, the
I
accepted.
I think it's because it's the most logical one to people who have a passing interest in how code works, but not
Mhm.
any real knowledge on how civilization as a game works.
Yeah.
Because honestly,
Um.
if you had told me about the whole Gandhi thing, I would have just assumed that the aggression underflowed as well.
Yeah. Um. I believe that the real answer is that it's all just like human psychology stuff. It's not that Gandhi was any more aggressive once he researched, the proper research to do it. It's that it's so particularly funny that Gandhi becomes aggressive that it sticks out in your mind, so you don't really notice when the other leaders became aggressive with the same technology.
Hmm.
I thought that
It was just always funny.
No, I thought
Yeah.
the whole idea behind Gandhi becoming aggressive was if you were like too friendly with him, he would attack you.
Right, that's the the typical explanation, but
Oh,
I was just saying I believe that it's actually just human psychology that makes it, you know,
okay.
notable.
I guess it
But of
might.
course then later Civilization games got into the joke and
Right.
actually purposely programmed it in, but
Yeah.
Gandhi became just a warmonger.
yeah.
There's also like really similar things to that in the Pokemon glitch community. Um, because for example, there's this like myth that tweaking was not in Heart Gold and Soul Silver because you can't get to anything important with it. But it was still in the Johto remakes. It's just that it wasn't as notable as in Diamond and Pearl because you couldn't get to any event legendaries.
Right, there was no like secret areas and
Right.
go to
You
in
could
Heart Gold
use
and
it
Soul
to clip
Silver.
through the world, which would make for some interesting setups, but you can't get to Shaman with it, so
Hmm.
Right. There was no use to it.
yeah.
Like at most, you could probably just like get the Lugia or Ho Ho,
No,
depending on your version
because
earlier. Oh, there was prerequisites.
they're in dungeons.
Right.
There's also like the whole confusion between Missing No and M, because Missing No is several different Pokemon. M is one Pokemon. Most players will
Yep.
see M because all players will see M. But Missing No is the one that's attached to one of the default names and is likely to be seen by children who don't really know what they're doing. And they see Missing No, and then they see something that looks like it but is named differently, and they just assume it's the same Pokemon.
Right.
The reason that Missing No and M look the same is because they both have a null value for their dex number, and the dex number is what controls the sprite. But the index number is what controls its other properties. So they are very different glitches, even though they look the same.
You know what I'm surprised Pokemon hasn't done with Missing Now?
Made it a real Pokemon.
Uh-huh.
I expected them to in Gen 7.
Why Gen 7?
Because
Ultra
Pokemon Bank.
Beasts
Oh.
handled. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that
Because,
too, yeah.
Virtual Console and Pokemon Bank.
Would have been awesome. That would have been the fucking best opportunity to make a mythical Pokemon Missing Now. And it's like you had to perform the glitch to catch it, and it would have worked.
Yeah, and it's like,
Oh, what a missed opportunity!
and still Missing No interacts strangely with Pokemon Bank. Because Pokemon Bank, at least at first, ignores it. Which means that all of the nicknames in that box get shifted over. So you have Pokemon with the wrong names, but you still can't get Missing No in.
Hmm.
It's just interesting.
Yeah.
God, it's just such a missed opportunity not to actually fully embrace the
I
madness
think they're
of that.
embarrassed.
Yeah, I don't think it's so much embarrassment.
They
Hmm.
don't like admitting that they fucked up with something, and like even their official stance on missing no is inaccurate, I think, on purpose to scare people away from trying to get it.
Yeah,
Because Game Freak tried to say that missing no can fuck up your save file, it can delete your data, whatever. It can't do any of those things. The worst it can do is fuck up your Hall of Fame, which nobody looks at those, and crash, and that's only yellow.
Mm-hmm. So I know for a fact I performed the missing no glitch and had no problem with the game until the end.
Yeah, like
The Hall of Fame shit.
red and blue missing no will only affect graphics. Yellow missing no is finicky, and like it can crash your game pretty often if you encounter its glitch box form, but it works perfectly fine if you encounter the fossil forms.
What do the fossil forms have? Like I've never encountered the fossil form. I've only encountered the L-shaped box thing.
Can
Do
you...
the fossils have different types and moves?
No.
Okay.
So as far as I'm aware, how missing no works is that it is what okay, so there's a bunch of unused index numbers in Gen 1 for Pokemon that were originally like scrap Pokemon like Gorochu and all that fun stuff. And missing no takes the place of most of those. But those Pokemon don't have defined data. So it's automatically given a Pokedex number of 0, which gives it its sprite, it gives it its properties, because those properties come from how the sprite is loaded. I don't know about the moves and the types. I think that they're mostly the same because it's coincidence, but I don't know. I think that there is some form of missing no, for example, that has different moves, but I don't know.
It's always been the most fascinating Pokemon thing.
Yeah.
yeah.
And again, it's such a shame they never made it into a mythical. You could have just changed bird to flying, obviously.
Yeah.
Flying normal mythical Pokemon, that would have been wild.
Also, like, it doesn't really follow Pokemon design conventions.
Oh, I know.
So I don't know how they would make that a real Pokemon unless they pulled a Porygon with it. Which is what most fan games do.
Like, if you were to give Missino an actual design, what would you make it?
Okay, see, here is where my Acanthite bias comes in, because like they leaned into the whole bird type thing, and it evolved into what basically looked like a glitchy bird. Honestly, like, I think that Missing No as its current quote unquote design would only work in a sprite based game.
Right, yeah, definitely.
Because it would look so out. It would not only look out of place in a 3D game, but it would look so out of place that it might actually scare children. Like that.
You would actually have to.
Like that fucking screenshot of the Litleo in X and Y that had the rendering glitch.
I never saw that.
Let me go find it. It's mildly terrifying.
I miss the days when even RPGs targeted at children could do weird shit.
If you're not scarring the kids, you're not doing the job right.
Like, man, the Gigas fight in Earthbound is so good.
Some nightmare fuel shit right there.
Yeah. My brain keeps wanting to call it a Shinx because of the color, but no, that's a Litleo.
Let me see. Oh, Jesus!
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
There's also these, which inspired metallic Pokemon.
Monochrome. Yes, I wish this could have been a thing.
Hmm.
That was just a rendering glitch.
I know. I curse Pokemon for not making these an actual, like a rare, extremely rare shiny.
Okay, but like 2 generations later, they made a rare type of shiny.
Yeah, but it's square shiny, star shiny. I'd rather have a different color shiny.
Yeah.
Also,
no
that
one-
Litleo makes me really want to watch Summer Wars because I've never watched it.
Okay.
The reason it does is because Summer Wars is a movie made by Mamoru Hosoda, who is the guy that wrote the Digimon Our War Game movie.
Ah.
And Summer Wars is essentially him taking that plot from Our War Game and refining it into something that isn't connected to Digimon and making it better.
Which one was our war game again?
The first Diablomon one.
Okay. Because for some reason, whenever I hear our war game, I think of the one where Agumon was giant.
No, Our War Game is, where we first got Omnimon.
Okay. Oh yeah, the one where Ty's mother in the dub is just freaking insane.
I mean, she always kind of was, but like they went absolutely ham with it, and it's amazing.
Yep. God, like, okay, in that case, like, our war game barely feels like it was even Digimon.
Yeah,
Oh boy, I think my internet cut out again.
No,
Okay.
I hear you.
Okay, well, Nate cut off, and I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's what. Like I thought I disconnected.
Oh,
But like, it's crazy that some of these glitches have inspired so much.
What if they inspired?
I'm watching Ty's mom video
Oh,
because
okay.
Well, monochrome inspired metallic,
And that's about it.
and Miss and No inspired many, many things in the fan games.
Okay, I don't think it was so much that it inspired things in the fan games as it was ported to the fan games.
yeah.
True. Given it proper life.
Yeah.
This makes me excited to see what kind of mythical Pokemon we get in Gen.
God, this just reminds me that I had a weird ass stream the other day that we got a sequel to the Ore games. And like I remember my main comment to Giga was that it sounded like it was a Yu-Gi-Oh game. I don't something about the title made me think that that's just Yu-Gi-Oh but Pokemon.
That'd be pretty cool. Yu-Gi-Oh! But Pokemon. Wait, Yu-Gi-Oh! As in the
That's
anime or the
just-
card game?
And the aesthetic.
So, Pokemon TCG for the Game Boy Color.
No, I'm talking about how
I'm make-
Yu-Gi-Oh has weird ass titles like Rechef of Destruction and Nightmare Troubadour and all that shit, and it's like something about this game name made me think that's just a Yu-Gi-Oh name. It was some main title, and then the subtitle was Power of Darkness or some shit like that. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Extra edgy.
And it was the box art was just like purple and a Japanese logo and a weird 3D render of Shadow Lugia from an awkward angle.
Can we please get Shadow Lugia in the official games? That'd be awesome.
Now, like, let me fucking sketch out what this box art looked like, and I'm not going to do my brain justice, but it was like, what the fuck?
On that note, it would be neat to have a fan game actually like rebalance and rethink shadow Pokemon.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, as cool as the concept was, the execution was really bad.
Yes.
XD may have made it better, but it was still really bad.
It's like there's so much potential to that idea.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
I'm
I
not
bet
going.
part of it is, I bet TPC was, a bit overbearing on Genius Sonority,
Hmm.
saying, oh, you can't, you have to keep it, a certain way, you can't, I bet that was part of the
Yeah.
problem.
Like I could, if anything, a third one to expand on or have a proper 20-year time jump. Give it like a half reboot
Yeah.
tied into the main games the way Arceus Legends did it.
Hmm.
I think that could be awesome if done right.
This is not doing justice to what my brain conjured up.
I was going to say you live streaming it, and I was
No.
confused.
No, I'm just drawing and complaining.
Okay. Oh, that could be the name of the podcast. Speaking of Pokemon, when do you think we're going to get the next news drop? October, or do you think we're going to get dry until launch trailer?
Definitely October.
Oh, you think okay?
Yeah.
I mean, there is one more major thing to announce. So,
Yeah.
which is, I think, going to be the big draw of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sad. I just reached for my water bottle, and I remember I broke my water bottle.
Oh.
Yeah, my thermos bottle's broke. I have to buy another one this Saturday.
Mm.
I've got to spend a lot of fucking money Saturday, and that pisses me off.
It doesn't having to spend money piss everyone off.
It's just the more I realize how much it's going to be because I have the 20 for the craft fair, shit ton for Amazon order. Now probably like 30 for a water bottle. And you know what just pisses me off about my water bottle breaking today?
Uh,
I was getting ready to paint it.
Oh.
I was just getting ready. I made the stencil for the Phoenix. And it's just like, fuck. That's the way I could describe it. But c'est la vie.
yeah.
Also, regarding the whole, spending money thing, I think it depends on what I'm spending money on. There are
Mhm.
times where I'm happy to spend money.
Oh yeah.
If it's,
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like there's some things where like, oh, I can't wait to buy that. Like when I bought my Series X, I didn't think twice about dropping 500 for it. That's like I was tickled pink over buying that. But having to replace something you've already previously bought, that
Yeah.
puts a sour note on you.
yeah.
Nobody make fun of me for this shitty drawing. I don't even remember what it looked like.
I'm not going to make fun
Make
of
no
you.
promises.
Okay. This is genuinely an approximation, a shittily drawn approximation of what my brain came up with for the box art.
Amazing. I love it.
It was an actual,
Oh.
like, Shadow Lugia 3D render, but it was basically in that pose.
Now watch, we get a game called Power of Darkness gets revealed on Pokemon Day,
Right.
Something like that, yeah.
and I will be questioning you about numbers after that probably. What numbers are you peering in your dreams today, Kalian?
And as much as I laugh at this. I still really dig it when you draw like this. Because of course I do. Because that's me.
Yeah. I mean, it's just because I didn't want to draw full-ass Lugia.
I know.
And I don't blame you.
Yeah, Lugia's a pain in the ass to draw.
Oh, whoops, I just realized that I forgot to log into ESO today. Oh well. Or did I? I don't remember.
The pose and render was so specific that I have to see if like it's an actual render that I've seen before. So, on to Google.
Lugia and that pose maybe, but not Shadow Lugia.
Are you sure about that?
Found it.
Yep.
Oh wow.
It's on For Affinity. Hang on, let me open image and not open image. Open link, new tab, because they're For Affinity's dumb about letting Google see its shit. So, like, the only real difference is that it was from more of a below angle, and Lugia was looking up.
If they ever do make another Shadow of Darkness or region, do you think Shadow Lugia would return as the mascot, or do you think a new Shadow Pokemon would
I think
take
a
its
new
place?
Shadow Pokemon would be the mascot, but I think we would also get Shadow Lugia.
Oh god, I hope this happens someday.
Well, we can always pitch my fever dream to Game Freak.
Part of me thinks they wouldn't do another Shadow Lugia.
The only reason I say that is because I'm inhaling copium that we'll eventually get Shadow Lugia in the actual games.
I agree with you there. I hope someday. Because it's such a great design, and knowing Kroner's not there anymore kind of like takes the wind out of the sail for that. But it's still Pokemon owned.
It's at this angle, except the tail was curved forward like it is in the Shadow Lugia render.
Oh, that would be cool box art.
Not the way that I made it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that has like the idea for it. It's like that would be cool box art.
And now I'm just sitting here trying to think of another legendary that would be cool for, like, a shadow mascot.
I mean, I know it's not the same kind of shadow, but Necrozma.
I mean, I went there first, and then I was like,
I mean, either the Necrozma or the Pokemon that's a living shadow.
That's. I don't
that's
like
easy.
more shadow. And I'm not as much of
I'm
a fan
thinking
of
more
Darkrai.
in the lines of, changing a Pokemon's design because it is a shadow Pokemon and all.
Okay, but can you imagine?
Calyrex.
God, but can you imagine, Ultra Necrozma, but as a shadow Pokemon?
Like a corrupted sun.
You know, black hole.
I'm getting an idea.
Maybe a fucking black hole.
You could go. Yeah, you could fully embrace the black hole idea for that one, or you could do like a blood sun, like a blood red sun kind of thing.
I don't know about that, because like Necrozma basically is a black hole already. It's just that you can see it because it eats light.
Right.
Also, this pose is a lot closer to what I was thinking, or at least that pose plus angle.
Right. So we are almost at 2 hours. I can't believe that.
Well, we talked about a lot today.
Yeah, we did. Thank God we talked about the heavy stuff halfway through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we definitely said some things that would get us in trouble if actually people watched this.
Did we, though?
You know how butthurt these assholes get.
I mean, not the way that I brought up PornHub was.
No, it's the whole Pornhub pride flag. That would get us canceled.
Yeah.
It would get us canceled, but I don't think it would get YouTube to ban us.
Well, if Crowder can say half the shit he says on his YouTube channel and only gets a slap on the wrist half the time,
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure we could say worse. But seriously, Rumble. Someday.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I think I still think about it. I don't know if I'm fully going to commit to doing the multicast for Pokemon. It's an open market, though.
Mm.
So I still can't believe that 2 hours went so fast.
Yeah.
Anyone want to say anything before we fully wrap it up?
I got nothing.
No, not really.
Then, oh, if you all enjoyed, if you made it this far in the video,
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, besides, yes, congratulations. Comment Dandelion if you made it this far. I want to know who the psychopath who actually makes it to this whole thing. Because I know for a fact there is someone who watches the whole thing because I can see it in the analytics.
I sometimes watch the whole thing.
Oh, okay, so you're the psychopath.
But like when I get to the video, there's already like 2 or 3 likes on it, so.
Who the fuck is liking my shit?
Mm-mm.
Besides myself. That's only one like.
You like your own videos?
On my personal account when I tweet it out, yes.
Right.
Not on my YouTube account, that'd be weird. Hey, if I don't like my own shit, why would anybody else like it?
I like it.
Thank you. So
Just that note in my voice, like I'm vaguely offended for you.
That's why I'm laughing so hard. Oh shit. Well, if you did enjoy this, besides commenting Dandelion, leave a like and share it around, and be sure to go check out every link in the description below. You can see cool stuff like this, and you will also find neat stuff. Like there's a link to Sardonyx down there. There's a link to Protochroma down there. There's a link to all of Kalion's art down there. There's links, people. There's awesome links.
So many links.
A lot, actually.
Something.
Are there
maybe a
more
fever
links
dream.
than there are links in Legend of Zelda? Who knows?
Yes,
Probably not.
Definitely yes.
I
about like 10 links.
think it breaks even.
Probably. I think mine alone, my links alone is Gab, Twitter, Facebook, commission page, Instagram.
Ew, Facebook.
It's my store page. It's what the fuck else am I supposed to use?
Ko-fi.
Is it free to start?
Yes.
They take a cut.
You can opt into that.
Interesting. I'll look into Ko-fi. Just be more stuff to add on in the description below. Good night,
Now
everybody.
there are more links than there are.
My job is done.
Good night, everybody.
Night, everyone.
Good night.